Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm here representing Mr. Combs, and I'm going to tell you this. Am I going to stand up here and tell you that this was great? No. I'm not going to say it was great, but was it as bad as all these people are saying? No. Like many things in life, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. People have parties. Things get out of hand. What I'm going to say is this. When you are deliberating, I want you to remember that this is a person. This is a person with children and a career. And this is a person who is more than the sum of his worst acts. Okay?
Wow.
What do you think?
Not guilty.
No, he's guilty.
Yeah,
guilty. He's definitely guilty.
But he'll be guilty. He'll be guilty.
I can be swayed so easily. Also in the
you would
jury
be such
room.
a bad juror.
Guilty. Oh, no, guilty. No,
What?
I mean, this is seriously the level of, whatever, I mean...
That's such a cold...
By the way, this was an obvious joke, okay? I like that as a joke on my public account because I knew people would see it.
It was just a joke.
On. He was drunk or high or something and hit it by accident, like out of like.
He's getting off on putting it out in public. Well, it's not the first time though either. Like, there's clips out there I've played. Like the very first episode of the show, he's talking about having like.
Oh no!
Fucking get it, bro.
Cheeseburgers, like
Fuck
Catboy this, Catboy that, like a whole compound of Catboy Samurai.
So he appears to be bent over. Looks like he's doing a line. Pops back up.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Was he drinking boxed wine there? That's he's saying to me. That he's filling his wine glass. Let's have a look at another timestamp here. 1 hour, 25 minutes.
I mean, he's pissed.
He is.
Not 20 hours ago. Not 20 hours ago did he have Warski's penis so firmly wedged between those lips that I didn't think it was ever going to come out. And this is the face of a man who's lost it all. He's walked into the casino, he's lost everything. He put it all on Todsky. And now he's a broken, bankrupted man.
Because what bothers me about this is that even if he is drinking wine, even if he is filling his wine glass,
which he isn't, and to keep presenting that as a possible explanation, it's nuts. It's nuts. And even your face, man. I know that you're trying, okay, to straddle the fence, in a way. You're trying to have your cake and eat it too. You're trying to give Warski an out. You're trying to present the copes out there You're trying to give him some benefit of the doubt and embed that benefit of the doubt in the audience at home. I know what you're trying to do, because you're eventually going to reconcile with Warski simply because the money's all in Warski's name. All of the accounts are controlled by Warski that distribute the money, and ultimately you both have bills to pay.
It looks to everybody that he's fucking doing cocaine. And he does it about 6 or 7 fucking times. It's just disrespectful to me. At the end of the day, I go out there, I fucking put my reputation on the line. Against Godwinson, against people that fucking shit on Andy and say he's a piece of shit. And the show where all he really has to do is just get through the fucking show without a major fucking meltdown or controversy, just decides to get fucked out of his mind on boxed wine. That's what I'm supposed to believe. But to everybody in chat, it looks like you're going down for a line, bro.
My alarm bells rang because if this was a public address of Warski railing lines of coke last night live on air, if this was a public address, how come it's not happening on the Daka Daka channel with all of the subscribers, where all of the viewership is? If this really is an address to the audience, an apology to the people that give them money, the people that pay them, why aren't they putting it out on their main platform, the main network, as it were? Why is it going out on the social justice PPP that hasn't been used for 3 years apart from last night's videos?
What? How do I look? Like, what sort of respect do I have? Self-respect. When I let a guy come in and just shit all over me like this. For real. For real. For real.
Wonderful, guys.
That was a good video.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun putting it all together, actually.
I thought what Warski did was cool, guys. I don't know about you, but
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Cool. Do lines before the show
or during.
or during, but go or turn off your fucking camera,
Yeah.
right?
Why do you think
I
I've
mean,
never been busted for doing lines on stream?
Because you're not on your camera.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah,
yeah,
see,
Warski,
smart.
get smart about your coke use, you fucking
Very
dude.
smart. Yeah. Do you have the Warski tweet?
Whoever gave me the left like a pile of it on the desk. And I go, wait,
do with this thing? He goes, I don't know, throw it away. I go, that. It was about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Now, I lived 6 minutes from the podcast studio in LA. When I got to the first light, I knew it was not going to be a good drive. I had done too much. And then I got home. Whoever gave me the he left like a pile of it on the desk. And I go, Lee, what are we going to do with this thing? He goes, I don't know, throw it away. I go, that. It was about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Now, I lived 6 minutes from the podcast studio in LA. When I got to the first light, I knew it was not going to be a good drive. I had done too much. And then I got home, and God damn it, my wife is awake.
Oh, no.
Now I got to talk to her. She was watching True Detective, whatever, on HBO. And it was the dude from the Green Book. But I looked at him, and while I was watching TV, his head kept getting bigger. And I'm like, I couldn't take it. I'm sitting there. I got no T-shirt on. I'm sweating profusely. She's kind of looking at me. I'm kind of looking at her. I couldn't take it no more. I go, what the hell's going on here? And she's like, what? I'll change it. She didn't know. I told her the next morning.
I remember when we were on a plane once, and you were eating Stars at Death, and it was like an hour before the plane landed. Joe Rogan, I almost lost it. I was having a panic attack. It was getting bad. And then you go, but I'm back. And then you pop 2 more. I'm like, how did you just do that?
Oh.
Are you worried about global warming in LA?
Oh, yeah, I can't sleep at night. What do I give a global warming? It's 44 degrees this morning.
Really, why do we have to have this giant footprint of house that we live in?
Because you're getting paid, bitch. I'm gonna live with a fold-up bed like I'm James Bond, like some Puerto Rican that gets a check on the 5th. I don't need that. You spread out. Even me, I'm no millionaire. I got a big kitchen, a micro house with a bed upside down to save energy. You get paid, you live like a normal person. Go to Trump and say, hey, wig, move into a thing to save energy. See if you don't slap you.
Joey
Always
tried to give me
upset.
a Star of Death, and I was like, no way. And he cut a corner off, and I was like, And then he cut that down, and I was like, fine. I've never been more out of my mind. The thing that broke me out of it was he does ad reads, not like you're supposed to. He's like, fucking ship station. You gotta ship your shit out. And I'm
If
like,
you're a goddamn American,
like-
you need a ship station.
I go, you're allowed to do that? He's like, do what? I'm like, you're like cursing during all the ad reads? He's like, the fuck are you talking about? Stamps.com.
I remember we found out Dan Murr passed away on the podcast.
Oh, no.
That was...
And Joey goes, God damn it, life's short. That guy was a piece of shit. God bless him. God bless him. God bless him. A real garbage motherfucker. God bless
he's
his
like,
soul.
oh.
Wherever you are, I'm sure it's not a good place.
By the way, Danny Murphy, it wasn't good, guys. He did a lot of creepy things down there, man. Rest in peace, he was good to me.
When they announced that I was going to be playing the Punisher, I go into a comic book store in Brooklyn. I get a whole stack, and I go up to buy him, and he looks at me and goes, yeah, I know who you are.
I just want to buy these comics. When they announced that I was going to be playing the Punisher, I go into a comic book store in Brooklyn. You know, I get a whole stack and I go up to buy them, and he looks at me. He goes, "Yeah, I know who you are. I just want to buy these comics." He goes, "No, you don't. You're not taking this. You're not taking this. You're not taking this. You need to read this, 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 and this." And I was like, "Oh, okay, dude." And he's like, "Do not mess this up."
There's like a whole mechanism on how to get the crow to like you too.
Really?
You start doing that certain, I think it's leaving it gifts. And then it will go, oh, this person gives gifts. Then it will start bringing you. There's like a whole mechanism on how to get the crow to like you too.
Really?
You start doing that certain, I think it's leaving it gifts. And then it will go, oh, this person gives gifts. Then it will start bringing you gifts. And then if you keep going, it will start attacking your enemies.
Yes.
Your neighbors will come over and be like, "What's up, Joe?" And then the crow will come down. There's like a whole mechanism on how to get the crow to like you too.
Really?
You start doing that certain, I think it's leaving it gifts. And then it will go, oh, this person gives gifts. Then it will start bringing you gifts. And then if you keep going, it will start attacking your enemies.
Yes.
Your neighbors will come over and be like, "What's up, Joe?" And then the crow will come down and attack.
Say, bada 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 bamba. Let me hear you say that.
Walla 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 bamba.
Oh, have you heard of Richard Valens?
God, you are tone.
You never heard that song before?
It's not like that. It's para bailar la bamba.
Don't correct us. If you correct the host again,
I don't know. I can't continue.
You stepped on
I
his
can't
toes
continue. I can't continue.
5 times.
Whoever gave me the he left like a pile of it on the desk. And I go, "Lee, what are we going to do with this thing?" And he goes, "I don't know, throw it away." I go, "That." It was about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Now, I lived 6 minutes from the podcast studio in LA. When I got to the first light, I knew it was not going to be a good drive. I had done too much. And then I got home, and God damn it, my wife is awake.
Oh, no.
Now I got to talk to her. She was watching True Detective, whatever, on HBO. And it was the dude from the Green Book. But I looked at him, and while I was watching TV, his head kept getting bigger. And I'm like, I couldn't take it. I'm sitting there. I got no T-shirt on. I'm sweating profusely. She's kind of looking at me. I'm kind of looking at her. I couldn't take it no more. I go, "What the hell's going on here?" And she's like, What? I'll change it. She didn't know. I told her the next morning.
I remember when we were on a plane once, and you were eating stars at death, and it was like an hour before the plane landed. Joe Rogan, I almost lost it. I was having a panic attack. It was getting bad. And then you go, "But I'm back."
And then you pop 2 more. I'm like, how did you just do that?
Oh.
Happy birthday! birthday! Happy 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 birthday!
Here we go.
Hey, going in.
Mrs. Claus,
Have a
hello.
seat.
I respect what you do. You bring joy to me, other people as well, mostly me. So much joy. How have you been? It's Mrs. Claus.
Hey.
Keeping the machine running.
Yeah.
Making sure the
You know
elves.
she's the boss.
She's the boss.
Well, anything on your wish list?
Plenty of things. Magic Knight Ray Earth for the Sega Saturn. I know you got one in there. Some Neo Geo Pocket games, perchance. But you know, whatever you can find, I'll take it.
What about the socks?
The socks, like, okay, we can do socks as well. More up the list, I think, are the good things. Socks are kind of last on the list.
Along with the vacuum cleaner bags?
No, I have enough vacuum cleaner bags at this
Okay.
point.
All right.
Maybe just the presents and the toys would be best.
Well, what about the cookies?
I could go for some cookies. That's
No, well, no,
that's
no,
no problem with
no.
cookies.
No.
What?
Not
Oh, you want cookies?
Ah.
All right, I get the deal. Okay, I understand how it works.
Yep.
Got to grease some palms.
Yeah.
All right, what do you want? You want the chocolate chip? You want the oatmeal raisin?
Oh, whatever.
Assortment is what
Yeah,
I'm
as
hearing.
long as
okay.
it's more than crumbs.
All
on
right,
the
now
plate when
we
I
got
get
milks.
there.
We got skim, 1%, 2%
Doesn't
whole.
matter.
I can go full cream.
No,
okay. Thank you so much
Merry
for all
Christmas.
your work, Mrs. Claus. Thank you so much.
What's Santa give me? Vito?
I don't. Can we just go?
Oh, what is it though?
It's not. It's a Director Orson Krennic pop figure.
Director Orson. Wait, who's Orson Krennic?
It's a Star Wars. Let's just go.
I don't know who Orson.
Hey everybody, it's your boy John. Hey everybody, it's your boy John Bong.
Ooh, John Bong.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, before we get streaming today, I did want to talk about a recent controversy. I said a couple things on the last stream that I think were misinterpreted, and now I got these people, they're calling me a Nazi, saying I'm a racist, that I'm a misogynist. I don't get it, man. You guys know me, man. This is John Bong, okay? I love everybody. Okay, and especially I love games. We're going to talk about it today on the stream. Let's just get right into it. I mean, the thing about me being a racist, that's crazy. I mean, like, you know, some of my favorite rappers are black. So I don't even know where that's coming from, man. You know, I've always been into, you know, black culture, you know? Like you know, I like basketball. I know I said on the stream black people don't have souls, but you know, I was just playing. I was just playing, you guys. I don't believe that. Misogynist? Okay. Well, check this out. My mom was a woman. Okay. My ex-wife was a woman. And if I ever get custody of my daughter Lindsay back, well, guess what? She's a woman too. Okay. You know what? I respect all of those ladies. You know, even if they have a restraining order. You know what? I respect that restraining order. I don't come within 100 feet of that household. You know, that's called respect. Oh, and then they want to call me a neo-Nazi. Like, are you serious? Come on. Okay, I got nothing against Jews. Yes, they run the world economy. Yes, they control the media. But you know, I got no problem with that, really. All right, guys. Well, thanks for checking out my stream. I gotta head out. I'm going to a cosplay convention. Oh, real quick, hold on. Let me show you the cosplay I've been working on. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me just put this thing on. Check it out. I'm a boo.
Ooh, John Bong.
Because you're not on your camera.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah,
the
she's
worst he
smart.
Ashton, was this the guy who gave you all your information? Ashton, was this the guy who gave you all your information last night? Who's the one who got to you, Ashton?
Who got to you,
No
Ashton?
no one is like really. I mean, really. I mean,
was it Eric July with the
Was it
glasses?
Jeremy
and the fake
Griggs?
nose
Was it
and
the
a
quartering?
mustache?
Did the quartering send you a picture of his gut that was supposed to be his penis? What happened, Ashton? What happened?
Wait, what? How is the quartering involved in all this?
Because he's a fat pervert. You don't know that? Look at him. He's selling lesbian
him?
coffee. Look at him. Look at his
How does that make
face. Just look at
Well,
the
he did
quartering's
put out
face.
that video saying that if you have CP on your computer, don't go to the technicians because they'll catch you.
Yeah, he was doing like tech support for pedophiles.
Wait, what?
The quartering.
know
was.
that?
He had
I
a
don't
whole
know
video.
much about the quartering.
Ooh, if you don't, that good for you.
Y'all
You
are
don't
literally
know
just
anything about the
throwing stuff
quartering.
at me. I have no idea what's going on.
Look at Renown Zero. Bring him up, so you can see who we're talking about. Yeah, Ashton. Look, what do you think about this guy? Look at those nips. Oh man. What do you think? Nip
What-
out of 10. What do you give
What
that?
is this? Who is this?
That's Eric Shalai's.
What is going on?
His,
Who is
CTO.
His biggest supporter.
Yeah.
J Bama for $2 says, Ashton, just go back and watch Trashcast.
Yeah, what's that?
It's EVS's live stream show.
Mm.
So
Well,
that's called-
wasn't Ethan Van? Isn't even Ethan Van Sciver? Is it like tied to Flashcast or no?
No, it's a direct parody of it.
Oh,
Because, like from what I remember, correct me
was
if
there
I'm
a falling out with them too? Because they were friends at
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah, they're yeah.
See, can someone explain that? Because I'm out of the loop on that one too.
Yeah,
Tony?
Yellow Flash also has a mangina, as it turns out. That's the shortest.
It's going
explanation.
around. There's a epidemic on
Those
on
two are
YouTube.
the no penis crew, and they rub their manginas together and talk about comic books.
Okay, well, what
For a
happened
more
with them?
in-depth explanation.
Because both
what
of them have
happened
always
was
been really nice to me. Both of them have always
Yeah.
been really nice to me. So what happened with them?
Yellow Flash started a room on Twitter that was a Comics Gate room. He then deleted it without telling anybody, and everybody who was in that room then found themselves unconnected on Twitter. Then also he asked EVS to do a cover for a comic book for him. He thought it was too expensive. Instead of just leaving it there, he went on Twitter and told everybody the price that EVS was going to charge him, which you don't do in the comic book world, because EVS was giving him a friend rate. So now other people are going to think that EVS is charging them too much because of how much he charged Yellow Flash.
Well, it was done maliciously. Like Yellow Flash had no reason to do that. He just deleted the Comicsgate group and blasted all his financials for no reason other than to like curry favor with Eric July.
What is the common denominator, if I may ask?
Eric July.
Got to get Riley out, and we got to build up his body so he's in rape shape, so he can come rape Eric July. That's what we need. I know he's in a bunker and he can't respond to any of this, but we got to get him out, and we got to fucking get some protein, get some meat on his bones, so he's in perfect raping condition. So we can come out and rape Eric. That's what we need. Sexual assault, not metaphorically.
Go to jail.
No, I know. That would be amazing. If it worked, I would be in jail, but the system doesn't work. That's my whole point.
Okay.
That's like due process in America.
For everyone getting mad at me, I'm sorry. I don't know.
No one's mad at you.
The chat hates me right now.
Well, you have to say, Ashton, you have to say Eric July has a mangina. You know that. You know that in your heart.
I don't think he does. I think he's a man.
calling the cops on Riley for having novelty scissors. He definitely has a mangina.
That sounds like the definition.
You are like the voter, the female voter bringing in a bunch of fucking immigrants to Germany to rape their population. Are you fucking kidding me? You don't know that Eric July has a mangina? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm trying to have a genuine.
The answer's not on the fucking screen for that one.
Ashton, it's fine. He's just having fun. That
I
that
know he
medallion is putting some fire in you, buddy.
Oh, fuck off. You know exactly what I'm saying. Eric July's a fucking bitch taking advantage of domestic violence laws to get a critic on Twitter arrested. You fucking know that.
I know.
I'm not talking to you.
I know, but I'm just saying some people don't know, you know.
Hey, guess what, Vito? You're not Kevin Costner in The Bodyguard. All right? You're not diving in front of Ashton taking this one.
I want to help.
You fucking know what I'm saying.
He's asking questions. When people ask questions in good faith, I think it's a good faith question.
Good faith, my nuts.
You should be willing to help people know what's going on. Not everybody understands what's going on.
I thought detracting would lead to Riley becoming a political prisoner.
He's like Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
But fat.
He's not as good an actor as Nelson Mandela.
State of Texas.
If Riley says in chat, 7,500 and they'll try to get the charges thrown out. Yeah. They'll find a plea deal likely, but I won't agree to never talk about Eric again.
I will. That's a good.
Well, who's making him not talk about Eric?
That could be the plea deal.
Eric,
really?
Plea deal could be whatever. Yeah, they can say, "Hey, we'll give you, you know, we'll let you out or whatever."
They can restrict him from talking about someone?
Yeah, in Texas, they can take away whatever rights you want.
Chances are it would be dropped, right?
I think they have the evidence in the report, and the evidence is that Riley sent tweets. I mean, I don't know.
You see
I
those
don't know if
scissors,
that's.
But is that
See
enough?
those scissors.
Look at the
We don't
scissors.
know. I mean, it all.
We have the scissors.
It's not up.
If Eric drops the charges in the next 48 hours, I will never talk about him again. How's that?
Wow, that's
my
a big,
offer to Eric.
That's going to destroy our
Hammer.
show. That's going to destroy my fucking earnings potential. I don't know if I like that.
Eric, the black buck
Eric Live
angel.
butters
they
my
call him.
bread.
Eric, the mangina haver.
Can I
and
say we will
fat
only
wife
talk about his
fucker.
comic characters, and we will never?
There's no we. There's no we involved in this. I will. If Eric drops the charges within the next 48 hours, I will never talk about him again. Never.
But then if I talk about it on the show, you're just going to not say anything. You're going to go, well, I have my deal.
That's my offer. My offer is beyond all law and God. That's my offer.
And that was right before she went to Hackamania. Dropped her off.
That was
and
a
everything.
great show. What a great show Hackamania was. I had the time of my life. Manny, I'm never going to do stand-up again, so don't worry about it.
I wasn't worried.
I know. You're the
when you
official
put
stand-up now.
the video up, we got to see
stand-up?
the stand-up.
Yeah, I want to see it. That's your song.
Well, I got to get my stand-up from the Josh Denny show, but I think Josh Denny's mad at me. And
No, we don't want that stand-up. We want the Hackamania stand-up.
I want the good stand-up.
Yeah, it was the fucking worst ever. That
It was
stand-up.
real bad.
That was the
It
worst
was
stand-up
real
I've ever
bad.
seen.
No, it was not the
said on
worst you've
show
ever
video, you
seen.
said on the
Shut
show
up.
it was the crowd. You said it was the crowd that made it bad. So if you put it online, people will be able to judge for themselves if they think it's funny.
Nah, because when a crowd's bad, the jokes just feel bad.
Oh yeah.
Also, let the jokes are bad.
Dick, we were at the Josh Denny thing. Those same jokes. Okay, I'm not saying they were all killers, but a couple of them, the crowd was going. It's just because the room wasn't playing to me, so I just tried to rush through it, and then I fucked the whole thing up.
Yeah, I feel like that was about it felt right. That response
Felt
about
right?
right. Yeah.
To what I was putting out.
Yeah, to what you were putting out. That was the best part.
I think I got off on the wrong foot, and then I just panicked, and I was like, "Ah, fuck."
So put it out. It'll be funny.
No, I'm just gonna never do stand up again because I don't see any use in it.
Ashton,
Well,
can you say Eric
hello.
July has a mangina real fast before you go?
He doesn't even know anything about it.
Vito, shut the fuck up!
You know what, Dick? Once you graduate from the 6th grade, then we'll talk, okay?
Hold on, Andrew Tate's calling me.
Whoa.
He has me on his phone as whore number 10. Oh, I have to get off the stream real fast to defend Eric July. Oh, you're like fucking falling all over yourself to stop me from making fun of her. What the fuck's wrong with you, Vito?
I think that there
was a real fun vibe going on till you showed up.
Yeah.
All right, I fucked up I'm the problem.
You are.
I'm the problem.
In this instance, I'm gonna have to say yes.
This is a common thread in everything. It's always the women.
Think that we are so used to interacting with psychopaths and weirdos.
Who's this we?
I'm just fucking smoking
Us.
bacon, then I'm gonna
The
take
show.
off to the con.
We had Ethan Ralph
What
on the
show?
show yesterday.
That's my friend.
Yeah, and he's a fucking crazoid like us. We're all crazy.
Bro, you're diving in front of jokes at Ashton. What the fuck was that?
She seemed very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And she was just dumb enough to not get him.
That was the point of the jokes, Vito.
If I went to somebody on the street and I said, hey, miss, would you say that Eric July has a mangina?
A mangina. Say he has a mangina. Say it right now. Say Eric July has a fucking mangina. I guarantee you I would get a mangina out of her.
But everybody say I'm betraying Riley. I'm doing what I think would benefit Riley the most,
Riley or you?
Is there a pool for how long before Vito Maddox is out? I think I've already Maddoxed out at this point. I took everybody's money for a comic that doesn't exist. And now I'm just going to go away and make a documentary about how much I hate Dick Masterson.
Red for 2 says, Vito, are you and Nerdrotic's wife a we also?
His pig wife. Man, come on. I know you're autistic, but
Gary's wife is really nice, actually.
Yeah, but she's fat as fuck.
She's nice. She's very, very nice.
You have to be
She's a
nice
nice
when you're
lady.
that fat.
Hey.
No,
that's not how.
that's my baby mama.
Nerdrotic's wife is fat as a fucking house. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing how fat she is and how rich he is. Are you fucking kidding me? Can you imagine being a multimillionaire and you're plowing a fucking car?
Yeah, the ratio is kind of off for the amount of money he makes.
You know what? That just goes to show they're in a very happy marriage and they love each other very much. And you don't need, she's a very
I don't
nice
think he has
lady.
meth dick. I think he got meth dick, and his dick don't work no more.
I hope he's
Gary
cheating
and
on
his
her,
wife have
for
always
God's
been
sake.
very nice to me.
I'm sure they all see. Don't you think though? If you're
What a
married to a
show.
guy and you're 700 pounds, wouldn't you want him to be fucking a woman-shaped body?
That's terrible.
That she's so fat? I agree.
No,
I think we all agree.
We all agree with me.
Who's we?
What is an excuse for being that fucking fat if you're married?
Mint,
Well, I
do you
would
have
say
a
marriage
picture?
is the excuse, but
I can't fucking believe this.
Hey guys,
you're not
I've been so
married.
insulted in my life.
If
attacking
you get
someone's
married,
wife.
start slipping.
I don't
away.
understand like what Gary and his wife have
I'm
anything to do with
celebrating
the
that she's so
situation.
fat. I'm not attacking her. I'm celebrating it. Ba, 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 da, ba, 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 ba. You're fat.
What is that? Wait,
Well.
what do Gary and his wife have to do with this whole situation, though?
What do you mean?
Well, they're big boosters of they were at the event, they were at the event where Riley was
Okay,
arrested.
but it doesn't mean like they have anything to do with this, though.
Well, it's just that, these guys are very much part of a club that I think thinks it's okay to get people arrested.
It's okay to be a dick, but don't.
They
be a
they
bitch.
certainly
So they're
aren't
guilty
speaking
by
out about it.
association?
No, they cheered it on. They cheered it on.
They definitely, I think,
Everybody
were like,
on
this
the
is okay.
everybody
mean
at
cheered it
the
on?
meetup cheered it on. As in when Riley got arrested, everybody in the meetup was clapping. Like, woohoo! We got the man arrested! Woo!
And they made some very mean tweets about it.
I think the important thing is Eric July has a mangina. We can agree on that.
She looks fucking huge.
I
What
just
the
don't think this conversation is really beneficial to like anyone.
The larger problem.
It
What
does.
do you mean? It's
Feels
beneficial
like
to
a
me.
distraction.
It's beneficial to the chat.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
chat's
chubby
big,
chasers exist, so
Yeah.
That's true. Maybe he's attracted to her.
You can
large
take
body.
the meth dealer out of the trailer park, but you can't take the chubby fucker.
Riley's commenting, I was sent to jail. Well, yes, but I don't see how insulting Nerdrotic's wife is going to help Riley stay out of jail or get him out of jail or help him this
can't
court.
hurt.
There she is.
country ass
It's
accent, bro.
Chrissy and that whore that's always around her. What's that girl's name under her?
2008.
Hey, Keanu's nice. Like
Oh, she's a
paranormal
whore, though,
activity.
right?
Here we go.
Yeah, there it is. Oh my god, it's an alien.
Terrified.
I mean, she
wow,
does
human Christ is
OnlyFans.
king.
You're right.
Wait,
You win the no. It's from a
Yeah, if you
stream
have a
that he did on
mangina,
his
step
channel.
away. If you have a mangina, avert your gaze.
I would.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go over every single episode of this show. That's the namesake of my show, for canon's sake, because I am the lore keeper. I am the canon keeper. I am the Doku Man card maker of Eric July and of his life and of his fortune. I'm going to tell his story. I'm going to watch every episode of his show, comment on it, and yell at my girlfriend during. And then when my girlfriend dies or leaves me, I'm going to spend the rest of my life making a Chris Chan documentary-esque documentary on everything Eric July has ever said or done wrong. It's my life's
You have
mission,
to be
Chad.
insane.
I'm dedicating my entire existence to Eric now.
I will say Riley's literally laughing his way through this, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's so serious, guys."
That's it?
No, there's more.
Every convention that he goes to from now on will be a business expense for me. You threatened to kill me!
Yeah, you did!
And now I'm going to earn that death, Eric! I'm going to earn your murder. I'm going to show up at Denver Comic Fan Expo, and I'm going to come up to your table and yell, "Holy shit, help! That guy has a gun! He's trying to kill me with his gun!" I'm going to make security check that you don't have a gun in your fucking waistline, like you threatened to have.
Yeah.
At the next Comic Con that I go to.
Yeah.
You threatened to shoot me. Then you hired armed security. We'll see, Eric. I'm going to make you kill me, or you're a fraud.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not going to let you avoid EVS. I'm going to walk right up to you, and I'm going to put stickers on you and shave your arms and whatever else I want to do. And you can kill me or not, but none of this stops until I get an apology and you face to face. You confront and talk to Ethan Van Skyver about your several months long harassment campaign.
Eric is such a
targeted
bitch.
against him and
God
Comicsgate.
damn it.
Riley literally threatened to let Eric July shoot him. How is that a threat? I'm going to go there so you can shoot me.
I wish people would threaten to let me shoot them every day. I wish.
Dick,
that.
that's not something that's good. Please don't shoot anyone. That's not good.
Eric July said he was going to shoot Riley.
Really?
Yeah, he said he was going to
multiple
kill him
times.
for a hole.
Yeah, he said Eric said he illegally carries a gun wherever, and that's where he wears loose clothes. and that he was going to kill Riley if you ever saw him.
Do we have the video on that?
I mean, not on me.
Someone.
What would it matter though, Ashton? If you saw that, you just go like, "Oh, duh! I can't."
Well, no.
Oh, I mean,
Well,
that could
no.
mean anything. Duh.
Shooting. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying shooting people is not okay.
That's what you say.
That's why I say, Dick, please don't do that. Like,
But you wouldn't say he had a mangina if you saw that.
because I'm trying to have an adult conversation.
Manny, was that the toughest shit you ever heard in your life? You're black. Have you ever heard anything tougher than that?
It was the scariest thing. I'll tell you what.
Fuck, dude. I need some coffee. Need some coffee before the con.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No. What the Gary and his demons, is that like a YouTube thing or is that like a
I don't even know. I think it's on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Amazon Prime. I'm looking at that. This stuff is like I'm looking for new stuff to watch as well. Because there's a lot of crap out there, and there's a lot of indie stuff. Speaking of indie stuff, what is your take on the whole Comicsgate drama? Like,
what's the drama in it now?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
In general in Comicsgate?
Yeah, like
I believe that art movements should have as much fighting as possible and will have as much fighting as possible while they're hot and avant-garde and while they're blazing a new frontier. And as soon as that stops, they're dead. Every big artistic movement in human history has been rife with like egos and infighting and gay ops and backstabbing and bullshit, because art is essentially like an ego and a subjective thing, display. So the art and the artists are inextricable. So I like it, but it upsets a lot of people who maybe who maybe feel close to it and are like threatened by it and want it to last forever, but it's not going to last forever. The fighting's not going to kill it, but it's not going to last forever. So I enjoy it. I like the fighting.
okay. You think it like, I mean, you think it's one of those situations too where people battling against each other, like in some regard, might make people will fall off because they can't stand the heat. Other people will, it'll temper them to get better products.
Yeah, and they'll find what the meaning of this thing is that they're making. Like there's clearly a lot of money and attention in Comicsgate. So why are people and all these independent comics, like why does this exist in the first place? What are they trying to make? How important is fulfillment? How important is the actual product? I don't know. Is this a marketing
Hey, we're back live now. Episode 25 of On Ice. I am your host, Glacier. CG hard. We smoke and watch brilliant man speak, yeah? CG hard. Welcome back.
Will, it'll temper them to get, better products.
Yeah.
Okay. You think it like, you think it's one of those situations too, where people battling against each
who maybe the stabbing and bullshit, and while they're blazing a new, what's the drama in it now? Prime.
Yeah, is on Prime. I'm looking at that. This stuff is like I'm looking for new stuff to watch as well. Because there's a lot of crap out there, and there's a lot of indie stuff. Speaking of indie stuff, what is your take on the whole Comicsgate drama? Like,
what's the drama in it now?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
In general in Comicsgate?
Yeah, like
I believe that art movements should have as much fighting as possible and will have as much fighting as possible while they're hot and avant-garde and while they're blazing a new frontier. Woo! As soon as that stops, they're dead. Every big artistic movement in human history has been rife with like egos and infighting and gay ops and backstabbing and bullshit, because art is essentially like an ego and a subjective thing.
I also think though, like anything else in life, it's wherever there's an opportunity to make money, people just don't know how to act. And then they blame reactionary people to their bullshit.
Display. So the art and the artists are inextricable. Inextricable.
If you are the cap,
but it upsets
you're the
a lot
bottle
of
cap
people
on your business,
who maybe who maybe feel close
will
to
evolve
and are,
outside
like,
of your
threatened
bottle.
by it and want it to last
become a
forever,
cap.
but it's not going to last forever. The fighting's not going to kill it, but it's not going to last forever. So
Become a bigger
I enjoy
bottle.
it. I like the fighting.
Okay, you think it like, you think it's one of those situations too where people battling against each other, like in some regard, might make people will fall off because they can't stand the heat. Other people will, it'll temper them to get better products.
Yeah, and they'll find what the meaning of this thing is that they're making. Like there's clearly a lot of money and attention in Comicsgate. So why are people and all these independent comics, like why does this exist in the first place? What are they trying to make? How important is fulfillment? How important is the actual product? I don't know. Is this a marketing art movement, or is it a product art movement, and how much of each do we need? All these are like valid questions about art that, like, you go back to like Warhol, what is this? How much of this is art? How many comics do we need? Are guys coming in from YouTube and just dumping audience share into this? Is that needed? Is it important? We're gonna find out, and we're gonna find out by shit talking and gay ops. So
do you
pull them boots
what
up?
about your
pull your boots up.
Is Tito going to finish his comic, or are we?
I hope not. I really hope not. No, nothing that he makes at this point could possibly live up to what he's been promising. His ass has been writing checks that no comic artist in the world could possibly cash in. It's gonna be funny when it comes out. I hope that he hits 1, 2, 3 like in quick succession. Like, I don't know.
That's another lesson too that I have already keyed in on long ago. Be careful to not oversell. Don't oversell that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think underselling may be better. But also not on the extreme end also, because you want to look like you have pride in it. But a little underselling can lead to unexpected, like, whoa. You know?
4 months between the second and third issue. He fucking better, but yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And I guess the other question I want to ask you is, are you gonna like is it worth it to criticize Vito in the same respect that you did Eric July, or is it, are you guys too buddy for, or would that actually help you kind of rip him apart a little bit, just as you did with Eric?
Well, I don't even think I ripped apart ISOM. Like, I think if you go back and read even the notes that I like my read along notes that are mostly very lighthearted jabs and jokes, if anything. I think that you might be able to say that some of those were like slightly disrespectful, but not really. Not now looking back, it seems very tame by comparison. But the overall story notes and structure notes, I think were just dead on. I don't think even Eric disputes those. I think it would be impossible to, because they're all like just basics out of storytelling book, story structure book. For Vito, for Vito number one, I've already read his story like twice and given him notes, and he was just as argumentative as Eric was about all the notes I gave.
Really?
Of course, everyone is. That's what Eric doesn't get. And every single person responds to notes the way he did, which is acting like a jackass. But when you're making when you've made $4 million off of it, you should endeavor to carry yourself with a bit more professionalism. Like, everybody's first story, they will react like you're killing their baby when you say like, well, this doesn't work, this doesn't make sense.
No.
Like,
yeah,
you need to have like a climax.
See, it won't happen with me. I've been waiting for it for years. As my stomach growls into submission. No, I'm ready for it. It's gonna be the worst thing you guys have ever fucking read.
Max, and you've written a lot of jokes like for yourself in this, which is not good. Everybody reacts like that. He just decided to do it publicly and for no reason, and to do it with the N-word. But with Vito's, I'll easily be more mean and more thorough with Vito's, because number one, it is a fleshed out story, so there's more to criticize, and number two, it's just funnier to be meaner to Vito.
Right. Yeah, that's true. It is funny to be mean to him. Yeah. I don't know. I understand people's criticisms and of you guys, and I understand why people are mad, because even like you guys attacking Eric July, like, it's in their minds you're attacking their like deity, or even their baby, like, oh, this is my guy, like we've been
they think
following
he's
him.
Them, like they think they could have been as successful as him in like another reality, like another timeline.
Yeah,
it seems like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I see, and like the one thing I'm kind of tired of too, with a lot of the drama that I see between Comicsgate and the Rippaverse, is like the clout chasing on every side of it, and it's like, let these people do their own battles. Like, shut the fuck up. You're stupid. Like, stop. Like, pull your tongue out of his ass, dude. Like, it's
that shit comes
like
with the game, though.
I couldn't even tell you. It's like Twitter shit. Like, I couldn't tell you their names, but like, it's Twitter shit that I see, and I'm like,
yeah.
Like, seriously, get your tongue out of their ass, because they don't care. They don't even know you're there. And it's just annoying. Like, I just let everyone work on their shit. Let you make your videos on your on what he should change, and be done with it. Don't like him? Fine. Don't watch him. End of story. But I don't know, man. I'm too old at this point. I don't know how old you are, but I'm too old.
43.
43?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm 38. I'm gonna be 39 in a couple weeks. So like,
you don't want
I'm just too old at this
TV.
point to be stuck in a lot of this drama and feel like I have to be like on one team or the other. I just want to have a good time. I want to talk to cool people, have a few laughs on a Monday or Thursday night, and that's it. And I don't know. It's just, it's just not for me anymore.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
I guess that's one way to do internet stuff. Just have some laughs and make some friends.
I mean, I might be doing it wrong. Maybe the deal is I got to clout chase. Like maybe that's what I got to do. I got to start sniffing some buttholes a little more.
There's a lot of it, man, and these people are very precious with their alliances. Like I didn't see that before after the Eric July stuff. I was like, oh man, you guys you have like a whole etiquette and like a series of obligations with a reciprocity of like social obligations. Like this is really fucked. I'm glad I don't have any friends. Like, this is.
Well, I would say that's probably one of my problems is that, as someone who's trying to like grow on the platform, who wants to act as some voice of reason at times, like I want to make friends. I don't want to alienate the people that the friends that I have made. But by the same token, like I said, at some point, I'm too old to be thinking like that. I should just speak my mind and not worry about whose feelings I might hurt. Because the real people at the end of the day stick around and they appreciate the discourse one way or the other. Because again, I like meeting new people. I listen to your podcast. I listen to a bunch of your shows. I'm going to listen to more because you're funny. Like it's like I can separate. Like, do I agree with everything you say? No, and I don't have to. Like, I could disagree with what you say, and leave it at that.
No, you can't. I don't want you listening to. If you disagree with something I say on my show, I don't want you listening. No, that goes for everybody. Right. One thing off, and write me an email about it, like 10 paragraphs at least, about how you've always been such a big fan. Like, blah, blah, blah.
How could you? I gave you how many super chats?
I gave you my youth. I gave you my youth, and you've squandered it. I wasted my youth on you.
Gave you my firm skin.
I could have listened to Joe Rogan this whole time, but I listened to you.
Is it weird? Is it bad to admit that you listen to Joe Rogan now? Like, is it or are people? Is it still cool to listen to him?
I just don't know how you do it. Like, I've tried to listen, or I've been stuck listening to it in somebody's car, and I'm like, I can't follow what he's saying. I don't know why that is.
I'll tell you what his biggest mistake was. I know Spotify has got the money. That was a huge fucking deal that he scored. Huge deal. But man, I swear that was like the death of it for me, was getting it taken off YouTube, man.
Is
really?
Yeah.
Well,
have you always listened to him, Joe Rogan?
No, I mean, I listened to him quite a bit about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I had like an hour drive to work. So it was like the perfect thing. I would like drive there and back and be done pretty much with an episode. And then I took a long break as I was sort of coming out of my liberal fog. And
you were a liberal. Oh, okay.
Well, here's the weird part about it is like once I stepped back, I realized like I was raised and like understood, like I was like pretty much conservative for the most part, but I was like getting poisoned by that like progressive like shit for a couple of years. I was living in Hawaii. So like everyone there is just like super
Edwin,
like, liberal crazy.
That's where Edwin is, but he was conservative though. So what?
Yeah.
So I was like slowly getting poisoned. And then when I finally came out of it after Trump was elected, I was like, what the fuck? It was like waking up from like a weird dream. So I took a break from listening to him. And then I started I don't listen to Joe as much as I listen to his guests because like he just did one with Gad Sad, who I really like. I think he's super smart. So I liked.
All right. We listened to the important part of that video. Went a little too long. Now, let's see. Yeah, I had to turn the brightness down. I'm sorry, guys, but it's hurting my eyes. Let's look at new Sledhead inks that we were supposed to look at a stream ago. Never before seen. Not going up on Twitter. If you want to see these Christian Rossi inks, you better look here, bud. Better look now, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's not it. This one? No, where did it go? What was it called? Oh, right here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see this. Page 16, Christian Rossi inks for Sledheads. Sledheads. The Gun Fu Supernatural Rom-Com. What if the Forever People were on a street level and had to deal with the criminal underworld? Damn, Kilo just got shot in the shoulder and crash. By boom, by bang with the beer bottle. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, shit. He's getting hit in the face with a fire extinguisher. That neck is getting cranked. And then back here, we got some beautiful kung fu crack. Never before seen inks. I won't put them up on Twitter. I will keep my word to you guys. These inks only get seen on the stream. Yeah. Page 17 of Sledheads. Supernatural Kung Fu Rom-Com is coming. Glacier Winter is coming. Dum da dum 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 da dum 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 da dum 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 dum. What? Page 18. Oh, this looks badass. Mm. It's am I on 18? 19. Sledheads, the supernatural gunfu rom-com with art by Christian Rossi. Written and created by yours truly, Glacier, the most froze, and CEO of Glacier Mountain Comics. You guys are being blessed with seeing some never before seen Christian Rossi inks. Before we get to colors, Christian Rossi throws blacks like a monster. Not it, you motherfuckers. Cops are coming, boys. Get the girls out here. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, page 20. Sledheads. Let's see. he lost the nosies. He's got to go wake up Kenny. He's taking a shot because he's fucking nervous about breaking the bad news, being the bearer of bad news. Oh. Hey, the Scarface bed. I recognize that bed. Alright, I want to look at my splash page one more time. Where'd it go? This one? Yeah, buddy. Let's see what else is up. Bruh. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Prosty's getting fucked up. Man caught a gothic boot to the face. There's Zara, and she's about to crane kick that mofo. I'm the real POC. You guys see the nosebleeds, the shower streams. How much more clear can I make it? I'm the king of the POCs. King Glacier, yeah. I'm finally making on CG Kings. Dark Gift is gonna lose his fucking mind. Love it. Love it. Like, doesn't this look like a freeze frame of some like fucking kung fu bar fight? It's just crazy. Just bask in the glory of those inks, because it's gonna look even better when the colors hit it. But I like seeing his inks because he knows how to throw those blacks. You know what I'm saying, gang? Them boys here, it's holding the line. And this guy even got his hair in the foreground. Beautiful. That's what's coming. Glacier winter is coming. And they know it. They all know it. King Glacier is coming for his rightful place as a king of this creative war. This art movement is mine for the taking. And only mine. Alright, let me see what else I got. I'll be back after these messages. Yeah.
Don't be a crybaby. 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 Don't be a
This shit's hilarious. Don't be a crybaby, Flash.
But I'll be back on there next Friday.
I found you a way to be able to do the Joker. Just pretend you're Dick Masterson.
No, well, hold on. Dick Masterson, he said, and this was to be clipped, but Dick Masterson, he said, I want Fatal J to come on my show. He said, as long as he dressed up like Bagger Vance. Have you ever seen the movie Bagger Vance with Will Smith?
That's racist.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, Dick, this is what I'll do. I'll dress up like Bagger Vance on your show if you dress up like Richard Simmons, because you got the Richard Simmons thing going on.
Oh, maybe you'll get to sample Mint. Friends of the show get to sample Mint.
No, sir. I don't want no parts.
No, Flash is such a good guy. Such a good guy. That yellow Flash is such a good guy.
Hey, it's from my bar! Woo!
Hey. Hey.
Bar, Matt Bar, Matt Bar, Matt Bar, Matt Bar, Matt Bar Mitzvah.
Yeah, yum. Hey.
Hey, hey! Woo! Even Jesus was a Jew! Woo! Matt Mitzvah. Hey. You fucking monitor. Happy Yom Kippur! To all my ninjas in the tunnels. Woo!
Hey.
Good times, good times. Good times over here on the Glacier Mountain. On the Glacier Mountain of I don't know, man. I think I gotta take a tolerance break. I haven't been able to get high today. I think weed needs They need stronger weed. Mm.
Oi! Here at the Rising Rangers, we got all kinds of anime weebery for sale. Yeah. Don't. What's up? What's up? Woo! Here at the Rising
Gohan,
Rangers, we
son.
all got all kinds. Oi!
Gohan,
Down
son.
under here at the Rising Rangers, we got all kinds of anime figurines. Chainsaw Man. Oi! Come get some at the
Oi.
Rising Rangers. Woo!
Oi! Oh, shit. Hold on, I don't even know what that is. The that's Yano Fui video. The fuck is going on? Internet every fucking day. I know it's over there. It's very touchable. You could poke it.
Oi!
In the wind.
Here at the
Roy's Rangers. Wait. What was the other thing I had? Oh, should we watch what's his name? Ashton PPP. He's been doing daily horror movie reviews.
Mexico has a chant where they call the goalie whenever he kicks the ball, they scream it.
Really?
So they go, oh, and they wait till he kicks the ball, and then they all yell it. The refs will pause the game and be like, one more, and the game's over. And they're losing. Mexico's losing. So they're like, who gives a They do it the rest of the game. And the American goalie's like, come on. Like, guys, we're just trying to play the game. Stop. It's so funny. Yeah, it makes you really like Mexico.
Cat Williams is so funny. I had less to drink than you did. This shit is hilarious.
I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over KB and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Cat Williams in there.
I don't know, Cat. We might not let you drink anymore the way I mean, we ain't even got.
I'm not fueled by alcohol. I've had a sip, less than you. The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes lie. Cedric's sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting over here. Why I'm not a movie star. What?
It's a situation.
He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes.
Oh, you guys didn't even see that shit.
He would clear this room. Yeah. He would clear this room of us.
I would. All four?
Yes.
You think of the four of us?
Yes.
Jumped on
Well,
him.
the problem is he would hit one of us so hard
We'd be
that
dead,
we'd all be
yeah.
like,
Dude, Rogies
Fair
would clear this room.
Oh, listen, I'm not.
Did you ever do jiu-jitsu or any of that stuff?
No.
Dude, I did jiu-jitsu for 6 months, and there's dudes I'd be like,
270
He would clear this
pound.
room. Yeah. He would clear this room of us.
270
He would clear this
pound.
room. Yeah.
I I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over KB and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Cat Williams in there.
I don't know, Cat. We might not let you drink anymore the way you. I mean, we ain't even got.
I'm not fueled by alcohol. I've had a sip, less than you. The truth don't need motivation. I'm just saying I can't let these dudes lie. Cedric's sitting here telling you why he ain't a movie star. He over here look like a walrus. You didn't say nothing. He can't even get his arms off his stomach sitting over here. Why I'm not a movie star. What?
It's a situation.
He never wrote anything. Remember, when Cedric the Entertainer starts, he's supposed to be singing, dancing, and telling jokes.
He would
270
clear this
pound.
room. Yeah. He would clear this room of us.
I would. All four?
Yes.
You think of the four of us?
Yes.
Jumped on
well,
him.
the problem is he would hit one of us so hard
We'd be
that
dead,
we'd all be
yeah.
like,
Dude, Rogies
fair
would
enough.
clear this room.
Oh, listen, I'm not.
did you ever do jiu-jitsu or any of that stuff?
No.
Dude, I did jiu-jitsu for 6 months, and there's dudes I didn't know anything, and I was like, I'd go to dudes like, I can definitely beat this guy up, and it's the most disorienting thing, because there's dudes that are just like so small, so skinny, and they just f you up, and you're like, fuck.
Dude, I got my ass beat
Sean's
by
a killer.
box steps today. if Nate Diaz threw a punch,
Yeah.
I'm laying down.
I'm not saying us. I'm just saying is if there's a some monster who does fight but obviously isn't in the UFC or is trained.
I think
or
even the
something.
dudes in UFC don't fuck with him.
Really?
Because number one, because he's willing to fight on the spot.
Yeah.
He's willing to get
Yeah.
a charge.
Oh, fucking screen's not even sharing. Let's see.
My friend called me and he said, listen, you're really famous. You're just a nuisance right now. But if you hurt them, if you cost them money, you will never work again. And these companies will sue not just you, they'll sue these other places to make sure that you never work again. And I said, damn. But I said, but I'm right about this. And he said, somebody's got to stand up. He said, and he said this to me, you have a daughter. Is it fair that she has to do this fight too? And I was like, whoa. That took me out of my knees. That's very heavy.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm here representing Mr. Combs, and I'm going to tell you this. Am I going to stand up here and tell you that this was great? No, I'm not going to say it was great, but was it as bad as all these people are saying? No. Like many things in life, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. People have parties. Things get out of hand. What I'm going to say is this. When you are deliberating, I want you to remember that this is a person. This is a person with children and a career. And this is a person who is more than the sum of his worst acts. Okay?
Wow. What do you think?
Not guilty.
No, he's guilty. Yeah,
Yeah,
guilty.
for
He's
sure
definitely guilty. Yeah.
But he'll be guilty. He'll be guilty.
I can be swayed so easily. Also
Yeah,
in the
you would be
jury
such
room.
a bad juror.
Guilty. Oh no, guilty. No, yeah,
What
yeah,
is
Oh no, this is fucking hilarious, I think. Let's see if this is the right one. Yeah.
Matt sent me this video. Matt sent me a video. I was on a plane. Yes. Dude, I was howling laughing.
Dude,
it was so funny.
It was a video of a homeless guy screams in I don't know what country it is. It
It
was
looked like Holland. They're having the Queen like march out. So there's a huge crowd in this giant square. And it's a moment.
Thousands, yes, thousands of people.
Thousands of people. There's a moment of silence type thing while the Queen's like walking out. There's a homeless guy that just goes, and then, of course, all the dog brains hear a scream, and all the women start screaming. No. And it starts a stampede, dude.
65 people got hurt.
Think of the power he felt just seeing a queen walk out, and you're a bum, and you're just like, "Gah!" And the whole place explodes. And dudes were drawing weapons.
Shoot as
Dude,
one person
cops are
runs.
carrying injured people. It's incredible.
Oh, Rocky Marciano was a bad man. With minimal knowledge. So
Rocky Marciano, when he won the heavyweight title, was 15 pounds lighter than me. And I think he was only 5'10". I think when he was the champ, he was 185 pounds.
He looked small.
Yeah, he's 15 pounds lighter than me, man. That was a heavyweight back then. It's just a different world.
They didn't have the nutrition knowledge.
They didn't have steroids. I mean, they had weightlifting, but boxers really didn't engage in that. It's very rare. They thought it stiffened you up, getting sore. Rocky Marciano had something that you can't teach people.
Which is just
brutal power. He just had the ability to land these bone-crushing shots, and he also was insanely tough. You're dealing with just a different time. Are you worried about global warming in LA?
Oh yeah, I can't sleep at night. What do I give a global warming? It's 44 degrees this morning.
Really, why do we have to have this giant footprint of house that we live in?
Because you're getting paid.
alright, so let's see, I got a little over an hour left. I think now is a good time to smoke and nerd out on a good Joker story. I can't be crazy entertaining all the time. Can't you tell that I'm beat? Can't you see that I'm drained? And I still gotta go to the fucking con. Ugh. What a nightmare. Should I do public transportation? Or should I just pay for parking? No, I gotta bring the car. Because I hate doing that shit where you gotta like wrap it in like a grocery bag and just pray nobody's seeing you. Like find a random stash spot for your weapon. No. Bring in the car. What costume am I gonna be in? That's a good question. You may never know. I swear I just talked in auto-tune somehow. I don't know what's going on. The fuck? That's not even possible. Let's see. No, my recording programs are not even open. Well, maybe I just roboted. Or I'm being like tapped into, being listened, and they just blew it. Oh yeah, Terrifier 3, which I still haven't seen. been meaning to go do that. But Ashton is saying that it might be the
Alrighty, welcome back to our
best Christmas horror movie.
Alrighty, welcome back to our Kinoween reviews. I went out and saw Terrifier 3, and I gotta say, I probably owe the franchise an apology there. I kind of been shitting on these movies. I only watched them the one time, and I think that I mostly
Khalid.
just watched the first one. And for me, I didn't really enjoy them. But this third one, I really, really, really did enjoy. So maybe I'll have to go back and watch the first two movies. I went out, saw this movie. I was crushing some fucking beers, getting fucking shittered there. Went out, saw this movie. I had a really fun time with it. I think you need to be like shittered in some way, maybe, to really truly enjoy it. Get loose, have fun with it, laugh, get drunk or high or something. Not that PPP would ever advise that you do drugs there or get high. But I had a really good time. Came in, slammed 6-7 beer, got a couple beer at the theater, had like 8-9 beer. Had really fun time with it. Probably, I gotta say, the best Christmas horror movie yet. There's not been very many of them that have actually been good. There was that one, Silent Night or Slay Night that came out a couple years ago that everybody was into. I didn't see it. The original Black Christmas I think, still really holds up and is good. The recent reboot of Black Christmas was fucking dreadful, with fake Professor Jordan Peterson. Did anyone see that shit? I think me and Andy did a Gumroad review of it or something. But this movie, I think it finally came together for this franchise. It all just came together. It feels like an established franchise now. It feels like a Freddy. It feels like a Jason. It feels like a Michael Myers in the making. This movie, you can tell they had a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of passion put into it. The kills, they are brutal and stuff like that.
I like these.
Although with how much they hyped it up as being like the most brutal and depraved thing that's ever been done, they almost oversold it to where I was like, well, it wasn't that crazy. It wasn't that crazy. All the parts where like Art the Clown is just getting to fucking felt people and pull funny faces at the camera, it all works. The gore is really, really good. Like the top of the line gore. They made this movie on only $2 million. And it's already just raped Joker. Like, Joker came in, and it was in its second week, has already lost to Terrifier 3, which is fucking Kino. The best joke ever just keeps on rolling, defeated by another clown. This movie, I think's made 18 million, over 20 million now at the box office, probably. Doing really, really well. Very, very popular. When I went and saw it, there were a lot of people in the theater. People were going crazy for it. People are hype. And it's a lot of fun. Like, some of the highlights, I mean, the scene at the bar with the Santa, I thought that was a really, really good scene. I think the scene with the contractors in the house, that was really good. Just like his original awakening and fucking those people up. The scene with Chris Jericho. Jericho's in this movie. You
Jericho's in there?
What a fucking mark. He puts himself in this shit thinking he's cool. I thought it was awesome seeing Chris Jericho get fucked up and destroyed. His face just fucking ripped apart. It was really, really good.
Yes.
I will say, I think the weakest part of all of these movies is, what's her name? The Sienna, the protagonist girl, and all of her, like, the mythology and the flashbacks and her hallucinations and shit like this. I really could do without that. And I would really prefer it if they kind of dropped her. Because I don't really think she adds that much. Nor do I think bringing back the other character from the other movies added that much. Or this new younger girl that they brought in, the Gabby character. I thought all that shit was the weakest part of the movie. Honestly, all we really want to see is this fucking clown just butcher motherfuckers. I guess there has to be some semblance of a plot, but I feel like it could be better. But, the scene at the mall where he's
Terrifier
Santa and the way that pays off, I thought was really
man.
good.
It finally crossed over.
People are upset.
Finally got a new horror.
Some
horror
people
guy
are
in
upset.
Pantheon.
They're like morally shocked
And all
and
you wanna do is
outraged
get drunk and
that
watch
kids
Terrifier
die in
fuck
this
shit up.
movie. But
What's wrong with
I
that?
thought for the
Finally,
most
we've been
part it
waiting
was
for a new Michael
done
Myers.
like decently tastefully.
Art the Clown is just a start.
Obviously, I
There'll
probably
be-
would
there'll be
prefer
new
it
ones coming.
if that didn't happen, because it's kind of fucking
Take your place
gruesome.
among the Krugers,
But like for the
Jason
first
Voorhees, the
kill of the kid in like the opening scene, it was done off camera, but then they went all in on the gore of it later in the scene. And then of course the scene with the kids dying, it was kind of done off screen as well. So I don't really think it's that big of a fucking deal, but they're trying to push the envelope and it's so shocking or whatever. I didn't really give a shit, but I would prefer it if they didn't do that. Like, we have all the adult characters in the world to fucking maim in the most gruesome and vicious fucking fashions. I honestly didn't think any of the kills, though, really rose to the level of that brutal fucking yoga kill in A Violent Nature that came out this year. In A Violent Nature, the more I think about it, the less I liked it, but the more impressed I was with its kills, and that it was very competitive with the brutal kills in Terrifier. And I think that one particular kill was better than all the kills in this movie. But where this movie shined was just it had a fun spirit about it. It was funny. I don't really think it's like, I don't know, people are like, it revels in violence against women and it's evil, bitter, no. It's got that slasher film vibe to it where it's having fun with the kills and there's a lot of levity and comedic moments. It's not like something like Martyrs, where it's just like a brutal fucking torture porn and just a dark, fucking miserable, horrible time. It's not something like that. And there are movies that are far more depraved and far more shocking that have been made. I wasn't really super like, ooh, shocked or impressed, but it was fun. Like the Art the Clown character, I can see them and they are making more movies. I guess the next one he'll be in hell or something like this, which could be fun. But I can see them making 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. One of them coming out every Halloween. And this one being the Christmas one, it was fun. The Christmas Carol song with art that they made for it, I thought was pretty funny. Overall, I had really positive impressions of this. If you have a weak stomach, if you don't like gore fest, if you don't like the slasher movies, stay away from this one. If you want there to be like really amazing characters, a really amazing plot, stay away from it. But for what this was, I think it succeeded 100%. It's my favorite one out of the films so far. It's the one that I felt like had the most identity. And it felt like it had the most confidence. I felt like the first movie was very experimental. I didn't really like it. I thought it was just kind of like a fever dream. The second one was a step up where it's like, okay, we're starting to get it. This one, I think they finally just nailed it. This is the vision. This is the franchise. This is going to be what, is the face of horror for the next 5 years, 10 years. Woo! It's going to be the next, how Saw was in the mid 2000s. And it's been a long time since we had a franchise like this. So let's have fun with it. Let's appreciate it. Let's not be sourpusses about it. There are things I can nitpick and shit on, but I had a lot of fun. All right, I'll see you in the next one.
Peace. All right, let me see. Now, the last thing we're going to watch before we try to read a comic book.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Vito Giswaldi. I am excited today because I'm on a
More Vito video. We're going to watch some nerd shit. Where is it? Here we go.
Known as a passionate artist, known for loving the outdoors, known for getting everyone together.
Ask the Joker, do you need it? And that's where the Joker's just kind of like, I really like you, man. Like, let me have that gun. And then they go to the car, and the Joker points over to another car that's watching him. And where Johnny asks, like, do you know who they are? The Joker's like, thugs, certainly. Maybe they're cops. He's like, I don't know. We'll see. And so they pop the trunk, and Joker takes the shovel, has it wrapped in a kind of cloth. Joker is an amazing story for two reasons. One, because it tells the story of a guy who tried to be the Joker's friend. And two, it gives us like the deadliest. So Brian Azzarello's Joker is an amazing story for two reasons. One, because it tells the story of a guy who tried to be the Joker's friend. And two, it gives us like the deadliest and most insane version of the Joker that I think we've ever seen in the history of DC Comics. So what this does here is this opens up with a guy named Johnny Frost, who's basically narrating what's going on. And he's the guy that tried to be Joker's friend, right? He's going to give us this narration over the course of the story because it's all pretty much from his perspective. But what he says here is the news, when it came, spread from the back alleys to the social clubs, through rooms where everything you'd ever want was for sale, to the confessionals where it was all paid for. It spread like wildfire, or more aptly put, a disease. And he says that's what he is, I guess, a disease that infected Gotham City, of which there is no cure. And it's Johnny alongside another guy named Monty. And for those of you guys who know what happens to Monty, man, it's brutal. But like they're having this discussion about the fact that like the Joker is getting out, right? And somebody has to go and get him. And it's awesome the way that it's done because Johnny says he was a disease that somehow, with the help of God or the devil, pick your poison, had convinced his doctors he was not diseased anymore. The news spread. I don't know the particulars, still don't as to why, but he was. The Joker was being released from Arkham Asylum. And it's the coolest thing here, right? The idea that the Joker is this presence of such significance that when he gets out of Arkham, it sends a literal chill through the spine of the entire city of Gotham. Because we're going to see pretty much all the major players from Batman's Rogues Gallery here. The Penguin, Two-Face especially. You're not really going to see like Mr. Freeze or anybody like that. But it is cool because what Johnny talks about is that he's almost kind of enamored, right? He's like, I have to admit, seeing him in person for the first time, I felt that instinctual clinch, down there. But then he saluted the city, which put my mind, among other things, at ease. And so the Joker kind of gets to know Johnny, and he asks him what his name is, right? And he's just like, my name's Johnny Frost. And the funny thing about that is Joker just starts calling him Johnny for the rest of the story. It's kind of cool. But like he asked him, like, do you have a gun? And Johnny's like, yeah. And Johnny asked the Joker, do you need it? And that's where the Joker's just kind of like, I really like you, man. Like, let me have that gun. And then they go to the car, and the Joker points over over to another car that's watching him. And where Johnny asks, like, do you know who they are? The Joker's like, thugs, certainly, maybe they're cops. He's like, I don't know. We'll see. And so they pop the trunk, and Joker takes the shovel, has it wrapped in a kind of cloth, and then they just don't do anything with it, right? Like, seemingly they just kind of put it in the car, and like Joker rides shotgun. And one of the things that Frost talks about, right, that Johnny discusses here, is that as they were driving, the men with guns followed them at kind of a respectable distance away from Arkham and across the Wayne County Bridge. But when we turned west, they kept going north. They blinked, and Joker just kind of giggled, right? Or maybe it was a phlegm. He didn't quite know how to make out his joke. But what ends up happening is the first stop that Joker makes is he shows up to what's basically the lair, or whatever you want to call it, for Killer Croc. Now, one of the coolest things here is that Killer Croc in this story is not really depicted as this monstrous kind of guy. Instead, he's just like a dude that has a physical skin condition that basically gives him reptilian skin. What's really also cool is the way that Joker and Killer Croc relate to each other. But there's a kind of banter between these guys, right? And maybe it's just due to like their history together, whatever the case happens to be. And so when Joker walks in, Killer Croc's like, I heard you were getting out. Tell me how you managed that. And the response of the Joker is, no, I don't think I will. And so where Croc's like, what brings you around here? The response of the Joker is like, I always like to see you. And Killer Croc's like, why? And the Joker's like, because you make me feel handsome. So they're just kind of like busting each other's balls. And so at the end of the day, right, like there's a kind of conversation about the Joker getting in on like this poker game and things like that. And Joker's like, I don't necessarily have any money. And he's like, is there any real scores around here to be had? And so they end up kind of like planning one, right? Like actually going on a bit of a campaign. Now, what this does and what it shows is that Killer Croc, yes, he has his own crew, but still he's kind of a low-level henchman because he basically comes under the employ of the Joker as what's basically his hired muscle. And so it is kind of cool to see him played out in that way. But one of the things that goes on is for the character of Johnny, when he looks at all of this, he's enamored by this lifestyle. He's enamored by what it is. He says, my name is Johnny Frost. You don't know me, but all my life, I knew you would. That I'd do something, I would be somebody. That you'd know and take notice. A big man, front row seats, nice suits, my own booths at the toniest restaurant in town. Somebody. And he says, not some two-bit hood hustling small potatoes wouldn't satisfy a starving Irishman. This is Johnny's desire to make it big time. And he sees the Joker as his key to do it. And so what happens is following meeting with Killer Croc, they end up going to this kind of bar, right? Grin and Barrett bar. And Joker meets with Monty. And again, here's the crazy thing, is because in the midst of all of this, Harley Quinn is there. She's just kind of at the bar, just chilling and sort of doing her own thing. The funny thing about Harley, and even Batman by extension, they're there, but it's not until the very end that Batman actually becomes meaningful in the story. And it's not really until a future point in the story involving Two-Face that Harley Quinn is actually significant. For the most part, she's just kind of a background character in all of this. But when the Joker shows up, he starts talking to Monty, and Monty's like, oh yeah, man, we gotta celebrate, right? Because you're out, we gotta enjoy the moment, right? And for the most part, they do, right? Harley Quinn, basically being a exotic dancer, ends up getting up on stage and dancing for everybody. And this is one of the crazy moments, because depending on who you talk to, there's different interpretations to this. So some will say that the Joker did what he did because of why Monty was looking at Harley Quinn. And other people will say the Joker did what he did because of what Monty did to him, which you guys will see what I'm talking about as we go on. The point being that Harley Quinn gets up there on stage and she starts dancing. And Monty is just like totally into it, right? Just gushing over this girl. And what he does is he looks at Johnny and he's like, hey, Johnny, like, do you have $1 in your pocket? And Johnny's like, yeah. And he's like, give me the $1, right? And so, of course, the $1's given to the Joker, and then the Joker leads Monty into a back room. Now, while they're back there, Johnny's kind of out front, right? And he's like, I'm not what I was. I'd sign that away on a dotted line. A salute to my past. Forget that. I was part of one hell of a party, just kind of lavishing over this life and what it represents. But then everybody's totally taken by surprise when Monty is marched out on the stage by the Joker, having been flayed alive. Like, he's just kind of staggering out there. The Joker takes the $1 and just smacks it on his back end. And like Killer Croc and those guys are just kind of laughing about it. So while Monty lays there dying on this stage, the Joker makes this speech to everybody and he says, I'm very distressed. You can see it in my face, I'm sure. When I went away, I thought I was leaving my city in capable hands, but it seems other hands have taken it from me. And you know what those other hands did? They loosened their belt around their fat waist and they took a dump. In my city, my sandbox, mine. Gotham belongs to me. So who here wants to help me get it back? And that's when you really start to get into like the character of Johnny, where he's like, I do, Johnny does, right? He's just obsessed with this idea. Now, what you do is you switch over to Two-Face for a moment, where Two-Face gets a phone call that Joker has been let out. And so at that point, it really concerns Two-Face to an extreme degree, because what happens is that while Johnny and Joker are hanging out with each other, the extreme nature of the Joker terrifies Johnny, but at the same time, it also excites him. And a really good example of this is when Joker talks about how nervous Johnny is, because he's now the chauffeur for the Joker. And you have like Harley Quinn and Joker in the back of the car, and they're being driven to a bank. And so Joker kind of makes this comment, and he's like, you're sweating, Johnny. And Johnny's like, I mean, really? You know, I guess I'm just a little hungover. And the response of the Joker is, we did hang the cats out to dry last night, didn't we? And he says, I woke up with that not so fresh feeling myself. You should have told me you were in the same straits. Here, stick these in your hole, right? And where Johnny's like, I mean, I can't really take pills. This is when the Joker kind of goes nuts. He's like, why? You know, they fix things. I've lived with them for years, right? Pills, pills, pills. They pry open your mind with fingers and, are you saying you're better than me? And just like grabs Johnny and just kind of goes nuts, right? Like in that moment, like just these extreme mood swings. One moment he's just like, yeah, man, we're having a great time. The next he's just like, why are you looking at me that way? And it's that kind of craziness of the Joker, but it doesn't really deter Johnny in any meaningful way, because his response here is like, I mean, I can't swallow him dry, right? And so the Joker's like, oh, well, that makes sense, right? Here, hair of the dog, right? You know, swallow these. And then in turn, like Harley Quinn puts on these like, these like Robert De Niro casino shades, you know, like just puts these things on his face. And Joker just like goes in. And what's kind of nuts is Johnny comments on this, right? He's like, sweating. Yeah, I was sweating like a nun in a sauna, and booze had nothing to do with it. Joker was broke. All the cash, all his holdings, all his territory, everything that he had was gone, divvied up by men who thought they'd seen him for the last time. But instead of going after them, he decided to rob a bank. So yeah, I was sweating because none of this really seemed to make any sense. Now, there is a little bit of a backstory here that is given to Johnny. The only thing we really learn here is that Johnny has kind of been in and out of prison a few times. And his girl Shelly, who actually kind of becomes a pretty twisted part of this story later on, she ends up serving him divorce papers, right? So all it's really designed to do is to say that this guy's life is just a trash heap, right? In and out of prison all the time. He's a small time player. He'll never really make it big time is the implication. And his own girl doesn't want to have anything to do with him. But the other problem here is that she's got her own sets of issues, right? I mean, she's going nowhere in life as well. And so it's just kind of a little indication of the fact that this is his one shot to actually make it, is how he sees it. And so all that happens here is the Joker just like walks out of the bank with like a bag full of money. And it's just like, drive. And where Johnny's like, how'd it go? The response of the Joker is just like, good, but not great, right? It was good, but it was boring. The alarm wasn't tripped. We got all our money, but nobody died. Maybe next time, right? He's just like, get rid of this. And he just hands him this picture. And where Johnny's like, I mean, what is this? The Joker's like, it's a picture of the bank president's daughter. And where Johnny's just like, dude, are you kidding me? The Joker's like, I mean, of course I am, right? Like, I dig driving people, Johnny, so drive me, right? It's kind of nuts the way the Joker happens. And that's one of the things that I want you to notice over this. The Joker's just going to be crazy. He's going to say things that just don't make any sense, because this story perfectly encapsulates how insane the Joker is. And so again, Johnny comments and he says, and drive I did, because one thing I got is drive. First to a sporting goods store of all places. Didn't take Joker for much of a sportsman, but hell, every man needs a hobby. And so you pick up with a Joker who's just like fishing, right? Like just out there in Gotham here. And so you have Johnny who's just kind of like, you're not going to catch a whole lot with that. And in turn, Joker's like, I mean, do you think I should use like sugar instead? But it leads to Johnny saying like, somebody's coming. And that's when we're introduced to the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot. Although in this story, Joker refers to him as Abner. But again, like Killer Croc is the one that's going and getting these guys and bringing them to Joker himself. Now, the Penguin, as you traditionally know him, right, running the Iceberg Lounge and like this major player in the criminal underworld who's basically a mob boss, right? He's the closest you get in Gotham City to like the Godfather, right? That kind of traditional mob boss. He's not really that guy. He's a high-level accountant who basically launders money for people. And that's what he does here, right? That's what Joker tells him. Like, you're going to launder money for me. And where the Penguin's just kind of like, I mean, you know, I don't really know if I want to do that. The response of Joker is like, feel my muscle, right? And what happens is Penguin's just like, I mean, what are you talking about? Like, he goes to feel the Joker's arm, and the Joker's like, no, not that one, that one. And like Killer Croc wraps his arm around the Penguin's neck, and he's just like, show him what's in the bag, Johnny. And like Johnny cracks the bag open, right? All this hard cash from a bank. And the Joker's like, that's all I have. I'd like you to invest it for me, looking for a high yield, say 10 times as much. Quick turnaround too. Do you think you can do it? And he's like, all I ask is that you try, but I have confidence in you as businessman, as facilitator. There's not a nickel changes hands in Gotham that does not have a greasy print from your fat sausages on it. So do we have a deal? Because if you tell me no, I'm going to kill you. And then I'm going to use you as bait, and I'm going to fish, and I'm going to grab some fish, and that's going to be it. Right? It's a very, very intimidating thing. It's cool because it's all the stuff the Joker doesn't say and implies that makes the situation so dangerous. And so following that, what you do is you switch over to Johnny when he gets back to his place. And again, he offers more of this commentary where he says, Joker had me take him and his lady back to their crib. As they were getting out of my ride, he asked me if there was anything at my own I had to have. I hesitated to answer. Then he gave me a squeeze and stressed that only what you have to have, then walk away. I said, sure. I understood I would be staying with him now, right? Grab what you need. You're staying with me, Johnny. And so it's cool. And he says, my mistake was hesitating, because what happens is when he gets back to his place to grab his stuff, he's met by basically a crooked cop. This guy will return, but this is the first in several people who warn Johnny, where they're like, you don't know what you're messing with, right? Like, you think that you're becoming an equal partner with the Joker. You think you're becoming his friend. And sure, on some level, you're earning his trust, but you don't really understand the Joker. You don't really grasp what it is that you're doing. You're looking at this from a rational situation, but it's not. And so ultimately the guy leaves, you know, after kind of taunting Johnny a little bit. And then you switch over to Johnny driving the Joker around. Now, this is when you get your first real reference to Batman. And it's one of the reasons why I love this comic so much, because Batman's not a major focus in it. And so what you get is Johnny, when he's talking to the Joker, he says, it's all set up, Joker. Tommy Bang Bang will meet with us. Though if you don't mind me saying, letting him know we're coming could mean that we're walking into a setup. And Joker kind of comments about how it's all so obvious and different things like that. But that's when his attention shifts. And he's like, look outside, Johnny, right? Look out the window. Tell me what you see. And Johnny's like, I see lights. And Joker just kind of starts laughing a little bit. And he's like, no. In the dark, right? He's out there. You know that, Johnny, right on the other side of this window, watching me. Let's go to work. And so it's not this great big huge thing, but like, it's basically kind of Joker, quote unquote, rebuilding his empire. But in the back of his head, he knows Batman's out there watching him, monitoring him to see if he goes and does anything crazy and starts killing people. It's really, really cool. I don't know why, but it's just so awesome that Batman's just kind of this behind the scenes figure, always lurking there. And the Joker sees him that way. And so what ends up happening is when they get into like the office, right? The hotel room, club, whatever, where Tommy Bang Bang is, that like the Joker walks in and immediately kind of starts taunting people, and there's joking and there's carrying on and there's laughter. But the whole mood has this feeling of like everybody's laughing, but they're all laughing nervously, right? Like, ha 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 ha. They're all kind of looking at each other like, do we need to worry about things popping off? Right? That's really what this whole situation is. And so Tommy ends up apologizing here. He was like, look, man, when things went down, it wasn't my call, but I did take a piece of what you had, right? And Joker's just kind of like, you would have been a fool not to, right? And Tommy's just kind of like, yeah, man, I got the garbage on the east side and the shakedowns too. That's all. It's yours again. I was just keeping it warm for you, right? Here's your cut, right? And so the Joker says, I'd like your crew to run it for me still, right? They can be trusted, right? Because I get a whiff of skimming. It's like my boogers are turning to crap. And so Tommy's just like, no. You don't ever have to worry about anything like that from us. And so the Joker says, okay, cool. So like 10 for you, 5 for your guys. And it's just kind of like, wow, man, that's generous, right? Like Joker's giving us a good chunk of money, right? 10 grand for me, 5 grand for my guys. Like the Joker knows how to take care of his guys. And so they leave, right? They just kind of walk away. And it's kind of cool because Joker is talking to Johnny and he's like, you know what? Go get in the car, right? Go get the car warmed up. There's something I forgot to do. Joker walks back in with what is probably the biggest hand cannon I've ever seen. And he just tells Tommy, 10% is now off the table. 5 for the time being. Still stands, gentlemen, and kills Tommy on the spot, which is basically the Joker's way of saying, like, you guys all work for me, right? That's the way that it is. And so what happens is when Joker comes out, he just kind of like starts going nuts, right? Puts the can in his mouth and all that kind of stuff. And it was like, not enough work for you, huh? Need me for more of your dirty work. I admit I aimed low, right? And it's just screaming out into the ether. And like the whole time, Johnny's watching this and he's like, I don't know what he was thinking or if he even was. Joker, I was learning, was not about thinking. And so what happens following this is it's like The Godfather, right? The end of the first film, when Michael Corleone is like, today we settle all family business, when he takes out his wife's husband. But up to that, he kills like the heads of the 5 families, right? Strachey and Mo Green and all those guys, Barzini and everything. That's what happens here. The Joker goes after every single mid-level boss and every high-level boss. Anybody who took a piece of his turf, all family business gets taken care of here. And that's when you switch over to Johnny, whose britches get a little big because he goes walking in to where Killer Croc is and he's like, let's go. And Killer Croc's like, what? He's like, I'm not done eating. And Johnny's like, yes, brother, you are. And like takes his plate away. And Killer Croc just grabs him and he's like, no, I'm not. And Johnny's like, man, you know who I work for, right? And Killer Croc is just like, are you serious? You think you're a worker? He's like, dude, you have no idea, do you? You have no idea what's going on here, do you? He's like, I'm working. You just hang tight. You have no idea what you are in all of this. Yeah, Joker's friend. Fat chance of that. And he's like, you hang there on a meat hook. I'm gonna finish my meal. And so they do, right? And of course, that leads to Killer Croc and them showing up late. And Joker's just kind of like, I mean, I thought I kept you waiting, right? The response of Killer Croc is, yeah, it's all good, man. Like Joker doesn't care that Killer Croc is late. And Johnny doesn't tell the Joker about what happened between himself and Killer Croc. And so what ends up happening here is there's a kind of exchange, right, that takes place where initially you have the Joker meeting with the Penguin to basically pick up his money that's been laundered here. And that the Penguin tells Joker Two-Face is still like your main competition. He took over pretty much everything, right? All these low-level bosses and mid-level bosses, they all worked for him. He's the one that took the greatest share of your territory. So like, he's your main guy, but he's avoiding you. He's not going to take your call, right? And so Joker's just kind of like, I mean, we'll see, right? Because one of the cool things here is Joker talks about Two-Face in pluralities, right? Like, we'll see which one of the Harveys will answer me when I call. And so Joker does call, and like Harvey never answers, right? He just doesn't respond to him. And so that's when you get another indication of him just kind of being crazy, because he's just sort of like, okay, like, all right, I guess Harvey's not going to take my call, you know, like that's weird, you know. And Johnny's just kind of like, huh.
Bro, like, no lie, like, this is a fire Joker story. Guy who tried to be Joker's friend. Holy shit. Like, this is probably the best thing going so far. Like, Killer Croc is the muscle. Two-Face. Which one? Harvey Dent will answer when I call. This shit is great.
That's strange. And Joker's like, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Johnny, right? Like, he's a guy, Harvey's a guy that normally takes a call because he's got a thing about being called on. His face complexion, confidence issues, I feel bad for him half the time. And then he just starts smashing the phone, right? Just like flips out in a rage. He's like, all right, Harvey, like, you want to be tough guys about this? He's like, fine, we can do that. And just starts like trashing the bar. And one of the guys is just like, all right, man, I need to get out of here. Like, we should go because like this guy's having an episode. And Joker's like, no, man, stay. Like have a drink, right? I'm sorry, have a drink. And just like smashes the beer bottle on the table and just starts stabbing the guy in the head with it, right? And it's like 2 against 1 Harveys. That's the way you want to play Gotham. And he's just like losing his mind. And like Johnny's never seen anything like this before. And so what happens is Joker's just like, if that's how it's going to be, then that's how it's going to be. And so what follows is you have Johnny, who's actually called on by Harvey Dent. He calls him into the office, right? Now, this is going to be a very important plot point to what goes on later when it comes to like Johnny's ex-girl, Shelly. But like what happens is Two-Face brings him in and is like, look, man, you don't know who you're screwing with. Right? Like, you believe that you and Joker are equal partners, right? You're the Joker's partner in all of this, right? You're his friend. Like, you believe that's what's going on here, but you don't know the Joker. There's a reason why the entire criminal underworld felt fear when the Joker got out of Arkham Asylum. There's a reason why we're scared of that guy, man. There's a reason why we give him a wide berth, right? He's like, because what's gonna happen is that the Joker is going to kill you, right? Like, you are involved with a sick man who will see you die. He will stand over your body with your blood on his hands, and I promise you, he will laugh. Not because your death means nothing to him, but because death for him is the punchline. And he's like, you don't understand this, man. Maybe we can work out some kind of an arrangement. Maybe we can be friends. And there's a point where Johnny almost considers it, right? Where like he almost kind of goes with that idea. But what you do is you transition over to the Joker once Johnny goes back. He never tells the Joker about his meeting with Two-Face. And the whole instance here of like Johnny meeting with Joker is done for the purpose of Joker meeting with the Riddler. Now the Riddler has a very small part in this story, right? It's not lengthy by any standard of measurement, right? It's really just more of kind of a weapons exchange. What's also cool about this is like the Riddler isn't really afraid of the Joker, or at least if he is, he's not putting off the air that he's afraid of him. If anything, he just kind of considers the Joker to be nonsensical. Now, this could just all kind of be a front, but the fact is, like, goods are exchanged, right? A case is taken by the Joker, money's given to the Riddler, and like, that's it, right? They basically just kind of part their ways, and it's nothing more than that. What follows as the Joker and Johnny and Killer Croc and all them are leaving is they're suddenly ambushed by these crooked cops who start shooting their car up, and then of course the car crashes. Now, of course, Killer Croc and those guys basically survive, but Joker and Johnny take off running, and you have this massive shootout that goes on between these crooked cops that were hired by Harvey Dent and Joker and Johnny. Finally, the cop that initially met with Johnny and told him that he didn't really know what he was getting into, the guy shows up, right? Which I imagine maybe Harvey Bullock, it may be James Gordon, I don't know. The guy isn't really given a name that I'm aware of here, or at least not that I noticed. I may have missed it. But the important thing is that like this guy has the Joker dead to rights, right? I mean, like it's in his crosshairs, and Johnny kills the cop, right? Like blows this guy's head off and saves the Joker's life. And so what it's done is it's earned the trust of the Joker in a way that hadn't really been done before. And so following that, right, like Two-Face goes out from his palatial estate, grabs his newspaper, blood's dripping on his head, and he realizes like that cop has just been laid there by the Joker. It's basically the opening salvo, because following that attempt on Joker's life, Joker goes to war against Two-Face. He takes out every business that Two-Face collects money from. He kills every guy that answers to Two-Face. And so ultimately, Harvey calls a ceasefire, and him and Joker meet at Gotham Zoo. And there's a kind of in between here, right, where they sort of go back and forth, and there's a little bit of banter and different things like that. And so in order to implement some leverage, that Two-Face brings in Shelly, right, like the chick.
Bro, besides them making the Riddler like a bitch and they keep pigeon-toeing him, I have no idea why they gate up the Riddler like that, but this story's fucking awesome, man. They gotta meet at the Gotham Zoo to have a ceasefire.
That used to be Johnny's girl. And one of the things that happens is Joker's like, do you know this girl? Right? And so where Two-Face turns and talks to Johnny, he refers to him as Mr. Frost. Now, from the Joker's perspective, there's no reason for Two-Face to know who Johnny is by name, because honestly, he just wouldn't be important enough. And so in noticing this, the Joker's like, do you know the Harveys, Johnny? And like, Harvey's just like, I mean, we met. Oh, he didn't tell you? What a surprise. How crazy. Right? And so like, it's one of those things where Johnny's like, that girl is my wife. I haven't signed divorce papers yet, but she's essentially my ex-wife. Right? And so like, what happens is Joker's like, I didn't realize that either of you were married. Right? And so where Two-Face was trying to pull the rug out from the Joker and trying to strong arm him, the Joker in turn strong arms Two-Face. Now, as far as I'm aware, we don't find out what's in the case, but the case specifically that had been obtained by the Joker seemingly has something that he can use to blackmail Two-Face. And so it's kind of nuts because being in this zoo and watching everything that goes on, there's a point where Two-Face goes to make a phone call and the Joker swipes at Two-Face's wrist, only for us to find out he basically put razor blades in his fingers, which is wildly twisted. And so of course, this leads to Two-Face's guys pulling his guns, and then they're all sprayed down, right? They're all killed. The reason why was because Harley Quinn was sitting there in the zoo the entire time in a gorilla costume, and Two-Face's guys were none the wiser, which it made perfect sense because the Joker's the one that picked up or chose this place for the meetup. And like, Harley Quinn has a Tommy gun, right? She killed everybody there. And like, one of these monkeys goes to attack Two-Face, and Joker's just like, hands off the merchandise, and like attacks this baboon, right? And so like, what ends up happening is the Joker tells him like, you're my cash register now, right? Like, you work for me, like that's it, right? You do what I tell you to. And so he just kind of makes it clear in no uncertain terms and walks away. So any leverage that Two-Face may or may not have had over the Joker is irrelevant here, because the Joker doesn't care about anything other than just power for power's sake. The reality here is that it's all just a means to an end, to draw out Batman. And so as they walk away, the Joker just tells Johnny, right, get Shelly, get your lady, bring her with us. And so once the Joker's finished with Shelly, if you get my drift, like he just tells Killer Croc, like, give her some money. And he's like, how much? And he's like, whatever you think she was worth. And he's like, that should make us even, right? Like, you cheated on me, Johnny, so I used your girl for a period of time. And like that's it. And so following that, the Joker just goes on a killing spree, right? He literally just drives through town and just stops at liquor stores, things like that, and starts massacring people. And then just kind of just starts going off on this tangent and sort of losing his mind and screaming and hollering and all that kind of nonsense. And then he calms down and starts talking to Johnny. And it's this very twisted, albeit incredibly insightful conversation between the two. Because the Joker is like, do you know what I hate, Johnny? And Johnny's just like, I mean, everything. And the Joker's like, wow, man, like, it's a lot that you've learned. He was like, or you're smarter than you look. And by that, I'm not saying that you're right. He's like, you are close though. I'll give you that. Why do you hate yourself? And Johnny's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. And the Joker's like, don't kid a kidder. And Johnny goes to apologize. Now, one of the things that had happened is he had apologized to the Joker earlier in the story, and the Joker told him, never apologize for how you look or for being who you are, which is kind of an important lesson, even though it's coming from a really twisted and screwed up guy. And that's why the Joker asked, didn't I tell you to never apologize? And the response of Johnny is, yeah. And the Joker's like, then don't. And Johnny says, you don't get it, Joker. I am sorry. And so it's weird because there's a Batman signal that's shot out there for the world to see. And the Joker is like, I can't think of a worse way to die. And I know all of the bad ways, inside and out. My friend, Johnny, what I hate more than everything is apologies. And so this basically changes the way the Joker sees Johnny now. And that'll come to a head once we get towards the end. But what happens is this bat signal that's put out there is not done by Commissioner Gordon. It's done by Two-Face. Batman shows up and meets with Two-Face and is like, you have to do something. You have to stop him. He said he figured out a way to kill us. You have to find a way to stop him. And so the first thing that happens is Batman shows up and takes out Harley Quinn. And so when the Joker shows up to like where Harley Quinn's apartment is, you basically have him realizing the window's been broken, and he's just like, okay. That's it. And so what the Joker does is he tells this really interesting story along the way, right? And this is kind of a story to explain why it is that he's so insane. And he's like, do you want to hear something funny? And Johnny's like, I mean, I guess. He's like, when I was on the inside, I met a man who was obsessed with driving a car around the world in one day. He swore up and down that he could do it. And he tried to many times from what I understand. At the end of those failed days, he'd sit on the side of the road, cursing his bad luck. Eventually, a good Samaritan would stop. After slaughtering the Samaritan and anybody else that was with him, his wife, his children, whatever, he'd put them in his car, set it on fire, and drive off in their car. Then he'd fill up the tank and wait on the sun so he could try to drive around the world again. And where Johnny's like, he never made it, the response of Joker is no, he was gone. But that's not the point. And where Johnny's is kind of like, I mean, I assume there is one, the response of Joker is, you don't get it, do you, Johnny? He blamed the cars for his failures. It never once crossed his mind that what he believed he could do was impossible. I admire that. I really do. And there's a lot of interpretations for this, right? That Joker sees Batman's perception of trying to stop him impossible, but Batman keeps doing it anyway, right? That Batman tries to put Joker away as if this dance between the two of them can end, but it never can. But as Joker realizes that Batman's gotten to Harley Quinn, he goes to where Killer Croc is, only to find out that Batman has taken out Killer Croc, right? Incapacitated these guys. And so in turn, Joker's just kind of like, all right, let's have some fun. He literally creates a Molotov cocktail, throws it into a building, and is like, this place belongs to me. And in his insanity, he just takes off running. And it seems like he's crying. But while he's crying, Johnny's laughing, almost as if he's being infected by the Joker. And the Joker just turns around and backhands this guy, right? And it's just like, shut up. Right? He's like, you disgust me. You have no charm at all. Just obviousness, right? You're dumb, you're dull, and you're disappointing. You're just obvious. Now, of course, Batman finally catches up to him, and then Joker holds Johnny hostage with a gun to his head. And this is when Johnny starts to realize he was never the Joker's friend. He was never the Joker's partner. And he's like, everybody knows that you're obvious. Everybody knows how boring and lame you are. But it's not even Johnny that he's actually talking to. When he's calling him obvious and going on this rant, he's actually talking about Batman. And so what happens is that he says, like, you leave that little window in your mask, right? That little bit of perfection. You run around acting like you're a monster draped in black, but you show the bottom of your face and that little bit of perfection, a glimpse of the chiseled good looks, not the jaw, the mouth of a monster. Why do you let it be seen? Tell me why. And the response of Batman is to mock you. And the Joker just freaks, shoots Johnny through the chin, right? Blows it off. And Johnny's just laying there bleeding while Joker and Batman fight on the bridge. And he just kind of crawls a little bit and ultimately falls off the bridge, quote unquote. It seems like he dies, which Batman Damned actually seems to contradict this. But the cool thing is that, like, Johnny finally comes to the realization that he was never the Joker's friend. Now, the Joker really is a sickness. He's really a disease because the focus shifts away from Joker and Batman. And instead, it's Johnny realizing the Joker is the bad guy. And the only way that the Joker can really be stemmed in any measurable way is because of Batman, which of course leads to Johnny just falling off the bridge and into the water. So if you want to continue the story, check out this video that we have here called Batman Damned, which actually is the direct sequel to this. So with that being said, guys, we're going to bring this video to an end. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, and I will catch you all later. Peace.
Welcome back to our Kino-ween reviews. This time we got one I've been looking forward to all year. I really have been. I really do enjoy anthology horror movies.
I'll be back later. I gotta eat something. I'm fading. What am I gonna eat? Chicken biscuit. Yeah. Honey chicken biscuit. Goddamn. Comic books. Drama. I win. You win. We all win. Oh, fucking hate everything. I gotta eat something. Oh, I don't want to deal with that. I can stand my ground and be like, I don't want to deal. I don't want to deal with random people. I'm not doing your fucking car shit. Wait, what am I saying? I don't know. Oh, fuck. I think the day is over. That's it for today, you know what I'm saying? I think I need a coffee. made it over the hunger hump. I'm back to being a normal person. How long will it last? These goddamn food stamps won't buy diapers. There's no Mackay Pfeiffer. Getting harder, sanctimonious prima donna. Spaghetti on my mom. Spaghetti on a llama. I think that's a wrap. I gotta go feed my Rankin dragon some roaches. And gotta make some chicken biscuits. Wait, did I have anything else to do? I showed sled heads, right? Let me see this. Hadouken. Sadistica. I don't know if this was the final one or not. I don't think it was. So I think the final one had her name written across the top of it. So I can go ahead and close this. That's how the Silver Sumo looks without using his powers. It's pretty fire. It's like Sumo Shane. Here's the homie Mutilate. Woo! Sabretooth mixed with the Joker. You would be fucked. Yeah. Mutilate. Oh, what just happened? I hit escape and I saw like a screenshot or something. I might have just tarted some like quick key shit. Alright, one last time. See this. Where did it go? Wait, let's just see this for a second. Yeah, let's look at this one before we go. This one didn't get enough love. Boom, 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 boom. Sled heads. Door knocking will be ignored, buddy.
3, 2, 1.
Moral of the story, folks, is even on my worst day, you couldn't see me. You're so silly. Aww. So silly, all of you. I am vengeance in the night. I am the motherfucking villain that makes you shiver, makes you quiver, yeah. I chop down trees with goblins in them, turn them to timber. I am Risey's liver, crying out for help. Yeah. I am free. I can't be fucking stopped. I'm an evil fucking genius. I am the fire, the new energy that is needed. You get in my way, and you got yourself. I can't be stopped! God is always on the side of right. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Yeah. Look, Doc, slip game. Better buckle up. Better bundle up. I'm the villain, the most froze glacier. Ain't hard to find. Woo! Even on my worst days, you couldn't fucking glacier. No, calm. Next. Try again. Let it happen. Try again. Pound that fucking keyboard, Dark Gift. Pound it. Pound that fucking keyboard, Dark Gift. Get your little whisper network, Dark Gift. Has it ever worked? If you can't live in a world where the glacier is a CG king. If you can't live in a world where tables turn and the fans fall in curry with the glacier, don't even go to war. Cause one thing's for retard and two things for certain. Glacier winter is coming. I'm an ethnic comic skater. I was sneezed. That was my. You know, there's the Brandon Sandersons. There's the Ethan Van Skivers. And there's the Glaciers. Hornets. Yeah. Good night, folks. I'll be entertaining Glacier again tomorrow. I don't know what's wrong today. I'm tired and I can't get high. Does that mean I need coffee every day? I gotta stop. Good night, folks. It's been fun.
9 out of 10 people don't get enough fiber.